In the alpine pastures of the upper Inntal valley, bees collect pollen from mountain flowers.
Keeping bees is good for the mind, body and soul. For the mind, every year is different when you keep bees. Every population is different. For the body, it's back-breaking work. For the soul, it gives me an inner harmony when I take the time to watch the hive and the bees flying in and out, see them swarm and busy at work. Despite the activity, it's very calming. And that has an effect on me too. I feel calm and happy at the same time.
Ruhig, zufrieden und bin sehr glücklich dabei.
Heinrich Gritsch has kept bees for over 30 years. He works as a teacher in the village school, but in his spare time he produces mountain blossom honey. His daughter Judith has caught the beekeeping bug.
I like being in nature and outdoors, watching the rhythm of nature. That's why it makes sense for me to work with bees. And the other good thing about it is that honey is such a natural product, rich in nutrients, and it's also a very valuable thing to be making.
Honey and pollen have always been regarded not only as healthy for the diet, but were also used as medicine. Judith is allergic to the poison of bee stings, but thanks to the protective clothing, her hobby isn't a risk. Heinrich has become accustomed to being stung. At home in the village of Zilz, the Gritsch family processes the honey produced by the bees. Everything apart from the churning is done by hand, but that alone doesn't make good honey.
Magst du mal den Honig kosten? Ja. Schauen, was du sagst, wie der schmeckt.
Honey consists of around 200 different ingredients. The most important ones are fructose, glucose and water. It also contains mineral compounds, proteins and vitamins. Due to this mixture, honey is a healthy alternative to household sugar. But still, environmental pollutants can enter into the honey. It's only after the churning that the quality of the honey is revealed.
If the bees are exposed to pollution, then that harms them, but it also has an influence on the nectar that they collect from the flowers. It's a very big issue for us, as we want to produce the purest honey possible.
A guarantee for pure honey without traces of insecticide is when it comes from right up in the mountains.
Down here in the valley, the yield, that's what the bees gather, is over. In the mountains, spring has sprung. And in spring, thousands of different flowers start to bloom, and the bees fly out to collect the nectar from these flowers, and that's what gives us high-quality, aromatic mountain blossom honey.
A windy road leads up from the village into the mountains. Here the bees spend the summer months. To yield 500 grams of honey, the worker bees must cover a distance equivalent to 3 circumnavigations of the globe and fly to around 5 million blossoms. The queen bee is responsible for producing the next generation.
The queen is essentially the boss, or so one says. In truth, the beehive has more of a democratic structure. The queen practically serves the hive. She's responsible for its survival, as she is the only one that can lay fertilized eggs. And out of these eggs, more worker bees can hatch. If the queen is lost then, in such an emergency, the worker bees can breed another queen from the maggots. But if there's no open brood, then the hive is doomed to die.
All over the world, bees are in danger. They're threatened by parasites, germs and pesticides. People like the 2 alpine beekeepers can help the populations to remain healthy.
Albert Einstein once said, if the bee disappears from the surface of the earth, man would have no more than 4 years to live. That's because they are an important part of nature. They pollinate the blossoms, ensure that we have fruit. It's a very regional thing, so people should keep bees everywhere.